What's up, good people? It's your boy Laws, OSS 980, other side of sports. We here to talk. You already know what we gotta talk about. I'm gonna just give y'all the whole, keep it all the way of being. Let y'all know what this whole Shedeur Sanders situation is about, though. People hitting my line and like, her, what you think? You think about? Listen, let me tell y'all, people, man. This this is a narrative that is old as time, though. It's the NFL versus control, dog. It's always been about control. And in this narrative, Deion Sanders, Shedeur, like they have flexed on their side that they have the control. And the NFL came in and said, yeah, no, yeah, I don't got the control. We got the control. And this is how we'll control it. And so, the slide down to the fifth round. First of all, people, let's just talk about it. I've looked at the game tape of the quarterbacks in this draft class, and it is abundantly clear to me who the best quarterback in this draft is and who is second best. You can say for whatever reasons why you may not like because I'm hearing these narratives about, oh well, Shadeur's arm's not that strong and this and that. He don't throw the ball downfield and like he plays in a pro-ready offense. He has all the tools physically to play the position. He's very accurate. Like I'm talking about like elite accuracy level. And he's a cerebral quarterback who doesn't put the ball in harm's way often, doesn't make a lot of careless mistakes with the football, is just very just smart with how he utilizes the field and angles and how he recognizes when I got to get the ball to my playmakers versus like all the things you want an NFL quarterback to do. Like you talk about pro ready, he's it. He's it. Will he have some struggles at the next level? Of course. Every young quarterback, look at Caleb Williams. Like, of course he will. But you talk about pro ready and what you need to have to be able to like processing speed and all of these different things. We talk about every year. We break down the draft and talk about these players and all the attributes that they need to have at the next level. Though a lot of these guys that Jackson Dart, I'm telling you, bro, he not gonna cut it at the next level because one, he does not have the processing speed. And we talk about this all the time. When things are happening very, very fast, and you have to make a quick decision, can you be able to do it? Do you have the ability to do it? Jackson Dart, to me, doesn't have that ability. Can he throw the football? Yeah, he can throw the football, but so can I. You know what I'm saying? So that's not the determining factor. The determining factor is if you can do something consistently in a high level, high manner. You watch a lot of Jackson Dart at his tape at Ole Miss. Like, dog, the Bama he was getting hot pocket time to throw the football, dog. That shotgun, you see a lot of these quarterbacks and shotgun, they look good. In the NFL, you're under center. There's different changes. Dog, Bama, everybody's an athlete. Ain't no outrunning and being able to. People talking about, oh, I see Josh Allen. Dog, he's not that. I'm just telling you, he's not that. So it's going to be a rude awakening. We see this every year. We understand, like, people get gassed up. And in that college, the thing that makes it difficult for most evaluators to evaluate talent at the next level in the translation is because they're looking at certain things in a specific environment and they're not able to translate that whole situation into a different environment. They're not able to make the translation. They know some of the things you need to have and attributes, and they perceive that certain things will show up at the next level if they can coach it up or they can do certain things. There's certain things you cannot coach up, though. Me and Aaron had this conversation. We talk about development all the time, and like, can you develop certain things? His vantage point is that no, certain things you cannot develop. Like you either have it or you don't. I think you can develop certain things. Like example, processing speed. That's your ability to make a quick decision under duress, given whatever the circumstances is. That means either throwing the football away, that may me going to your check down, or continue to read the field to be able to make a play. Like how fast you're able to process that, your routes, that you have available, your first, second, and third. Like your ability to process that. Aaron don't think you can develop that. Like he's like, you either have that joint or you don't. And if you have, like, I guess he, in some ways you can develop, but it's just minimal. Like it's like leadership qualities. Like you either have leadership qualities, you can't make a Bama who's not a leader into a leader. Like I'm with that. I'm in that camp too. Like you either have those leadership qualities, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't, then it's just gonna show up, right? Uh as far as processing speed, I think you can develop processing speed. Well, not processing speed, so to speak, but I think that you can and you think this is the analogy to make it clear. So, like, you think about a computer and like the processing speed for a computer, right? I think what can help the processing speed is if you take a lot of the stuff, all them programs you got on your computer, dog, all that, like, take all of that off and just leave like the basic main stuff, and that's all you need to work with. I think the computer can run fine, like if it doesn't have elite processing speed. Shedeur to me has elite processing speed. But if you don't have elite processing, just don't put so much information on the computer to have where they have to look at all. Just be like, yeah, this is your first read. Stuff that they did early on. I'm just the examples with Jared Goff. Like Jared Goff early on, like when he was with McVay, he just kind of made it real simple and plain. Like just do this, go ahead, check down there, boom, gave him the blueprint. So he didn't really have to think. So as he when he got to another situation and he was given more, it was a little easier for him because he kind of learned the basics. He learned a system of like just boom, 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 do this, and then so then if you try to add more to that, it's a little easier, I'll say. So not all quarterbacks is the same. Not all you can put that when it goes to overload and then processing overload. Look at Sam Howell. Situations like that, process speed is trash, and then just nothing you can do about it, right? Other dudes like that, the dude who played for Atlanta last year, they dropped Riddler. Yeah, same thing. Process speed, can probably spin the football, but just these things are critical at the next level, right? I'm looking at the guys that they're putting there ahead, and granted, it's not about necessarily ability. I just want to be clear. We know it's not about ability because Shedeur, ability-wise and processing speed, like what you need to be able to translate to the next level, he has over those guys. So only person that's there is like Cam Ward, but Cam Ward's his special power is his athletic ability matched with his arm talent. So like you can process differently when you got more RAM on your computer. Like, you know what I'm saying? He got more tools to work with, so he can do more, he can escape more. It just changes how fast you gotta make a decision, because if a Bama break free, you can juke them, you can get loose, you know what I'm saying? All types of stuff that just affords you a different type of ability to kind of like move and shake. So, with that said, right, this is all about control, right? NFL's like, look, we got this young dude. He think his dad gonna come in here and run stuff. That's not about to happen. We about to show you who runs this league. It's us, and we can run it however we want. And you think you might have power and cachet and all of this and that to figure out what team you want to go to. It don't work that way, because this is a business, and we can't have especially young black athletes coming in here trying to dictate what's going to happen, what you going to do, how you going to do it. No, none of that's flying over here. And so we got to shut it down, because we don't need any other hot shot QB coming in or player at that nature coming in thinking, oh, I don't gotta run the four, I don't gotta do pro day, I don't gotta do the combine stuff, I don't gotta do the senior day bowl and all of these systems that they have set up where there's like money attached to it, it's sponsorships attached to it, it's all of these, and like you're not participating, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll show you what we can do, what control we have over our plantation. That's how they move. And so this was just really just a big boy flex on the Sanders family. Like, yeah, y'all got a big family, big name. Y'all do this, boom, boom, boom. But this is how we go. This is how we move. We ultimately have the final say. That's what they were trying to convey, make known and clear to the Sanders family that like you can be a part of this, but we run the show and we can dictate where this goes and how this goes, right? And so I hope this is the thing. We're gonna see if they got the message or not, and how they move and how they navigate going forward. I mean, to me, I think this is disheartening for the kid Shedeur because they're trying to like they paint this narrative. Oh, he's entitled, he got confidence, and all of it. It's like no, stop it, people, dog. It's the narrative that they spin for all types of media stuff, dog. When they want you to believe something about someone, it's the same contract dispute joint. You got the billionaire owners, right? All this money, these Bama's got caught in brothels and all types of funny business, right? But yeah, it's the player holding out that they want you mad at. So they put out these stories. Oh, yeah, this Bama holding out. Because it's to control the narrative, dog. And so all of this stuff about Shedeur being this and that, like, dog, none of his teammates will say that. Like nobody who's close to him, nobody who knows him. The Bama got a 4.0 GPO, a GPA at his school. All his teammates, Bama showed up for his teammates at the pro day. Bama at the combine talking about his teammates and who he wanted to see drafted, stuff like that. Like, dog, his teammates rock with him heavy, dog. Not arrogant. People who are arrogant and stuff don't do that. They don't shout out their teammates. They don't be doing this stuff. Like you saw him through the draft process, and like, the coverage that they were getting was just from him, like releasing like like we don't know what's going on, but we just trying to, what I'm saying, just deal with it, like trust God's plan and stuff like that. What you got to commit. No entitled kid is going to be talking like that. They're gonna be sad, pouting, all types of stuff like that. It's just like, yeah, it is what it is. We ready. We coming to work. You know what I'm saying? He got his name called. Y'all ain't watched this much coverage of the NFL draft in your lifetime, dog. Nobody ever watched rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You ain't never cared. So the NFL went on two fronts. They were like, oh yeah, we're gonna get the Bama like this. We're gonna show them we pulling the strings over here. Then this, we're gonna get Bama's because they're gonna be tuned in to see how we rock it. They want to know when the dude gonna go, and we got sponsorships, money, all, bro. It's a whole thing, bro. They knew and they colluded. I know they colluded, bro. The way the league collude is different than how other drinks because their collusion don't come out, dog. They just come. They be like, hey, listen, what we about to do about this Shedeur thing? We know y'all need a quarterback. Y'all 14. They sit in the room and just talk, bro. Those owners things where they had it like the meetings before they just come in the room, sit down, owners, what's up, man? What's good, bro? How the kids, man? You all right, yeah. What's up with the Shedeur? Y'all gonna pick Shedeur? I don't know, bro. We they trying to play us like we ain't got no say in the matter. Like oh nah, this is what we we going before we get this meeting started, let's talk about Shedeur real quick. Y'all need a quarterback, y'all, right? We know whoever team we go to, go and get big bucks. We all gonna split that up, but we know that's gonna happen. What we gotta kind of like, can y'all not get them in the first round, please? Just let them drop. Like one of your teams still may end up getting them. Y'all can let them after the third. Y'all can do what y'all want. Y'all can jump forward, whatever. Use your picks. This way, we just keep control because that's what we need. We can't have these young hot shots coming in here trying to dictate stuff. We can't let it happen. And if we let Shedeur do it, then the next kid gonna come along with his father and think he gonna run stuff. No, gotta shut it down. We all on board. That's the first order of business. All right, boom. They bang the gavel and then it's it. That's how they move, bro. If you think otherwise, you have no understanding of like how the people in positions of power and wealth operate and work, dog. Because that's exactly how it go, bro. They put it all on the table. They talk. They make a decision. Everybody link up, say, all right, bet, cool, we with it. All right, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. They get agreement, and then they move on. Dog, next subject. Okay, what we going to do about the rules committee? What we going to do? They talk about it all. It's all about the bread and the bottom line. So the control is the fundamental piece of this whole thing that they got to keep in a pocket, dog. That's the fundamental piece. So that's why he slipped all the way down to 5. Because once it got past 3, they probably was like, I mean, well, we here, like we get more control back. If he go to the further he fall, the more control we had. Because now we don't have the same obligations to hold him on the roster. If we want to cut him, if we want to have that ability built into the situation, we got it. And then ultimately, he ended up going to the sorry team anyway. They sent him to the Cleveland Browns, which is hell to me from a organization standpoint. I know some people was like, oh, maybe he go to the Steelers. I know some other people probably was hoping he get, so there's some talks about the Jaguars trying to like fandangle some stuff behind the scenes to try to get Shedeur and stuff, and they want to get rid of Trevor Lawrence and all like that. I mean, that might all be viable options and stuff like that. But this draft process was just about control, people. That's it. You know, now on to the other elephant in the room, the ability of quarterback. Because I needed to preface that before I get into the abilities, because that's the first thing, right? He's the second best quarterback in this draft, hands down. Now, where this goes from here, because now he's at Cleveland, some guys in front of him, some situations. Now, none of those situations, I mean, the people are going to be clamoring for him off break. You already know that's going to happen. So you just get ready for that. Like Cleveland star for a leader and a quarterback, and so he'll have some time to like figure things out and grow. I mean, maybe that time is cut short. I don't know. We'll see. I just know doors cut different, and it won't be long that he like cream rises always rises to the top. So that's just the fact. Um, the situation is trash, but I think Stefanski has enough to like kind of guide him and give him a little bit of guidance. You know what I'm saying, from an offensive standpoint. But it's just going now. It's just come down to him. I'm sure he already has the chip. I'm sure his dad already just hipped him to the whole landscape and what he got to do and how he got to do it. So I'm not really worried in that regard, like how he'll manage, the team and all of that, because the camera's gonna be there. Trust and believe. Camera's gonna be in Cleveland like they've never been in Cleveland. So that's there. But these other quarterbacks that got drafted in front of them, dog, let me tell you something. These quarterbacks they drafted are not that good, bro. I've done the Tyler Shaw guy they talking about that the Saints picked up, bro. Let me tell you something. Joe Flacco, that's his ceiling. That's his ceiling is Joe Flacco. Now you might say, well, Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl. He took the Ravens and stuff like that. Like, listen, that was an elite defensive team, and Joe Flacco struck gold in that playoffs, though. He just was on fire for that playoff. Joe Flacco's been serviceable. He's been, a good, wily veteran that's been able to play. And Tyler Shaw, to me, is probably in that space, though. Now, if you want to do that, go ahead. I'm not gonna be mad at you, but I'm just saying, like, let's just be clear. That's what we're getting, right? And if that's enough to draft him over Shedeur, who, I grade higher as far as like what his and I and let me say this, because I have to preface this, because people gonna be like, dog, you said this man is like this. He's not, dog. If you don't, because I'm just saying he has some of these qualities. And when you talk about ceiling and some of these qualities just don't grow on trees, bro. This is what I'm saying. So I'm gonna say this, but listen, hear what I'm trying to say. Don't just make up stuff. Oh, don't remember say he's dead. No, this is not what I'm saying. He's not this. I'm saying he has some of these attributes that could propel him to greatness, though. He has attributes like a Tom Brady. I'm not saying he's Tom Brady. I'm saying he has attributes like Tom Brady. Tom Brady was never super athletic. He was never like, he had a good arm. He had solid, he could run the offense, but he had the it factor. He was definitely clutch 100%. And Shedeur has that. Now, is this ceiling Tom Brady? I wouldn't necessarily say he's Tom Brady. I'm saying he has those attributes. And when you see some of these attributes, though, you cannot ignore them if you want to win. You cannot ignore them. Though it's like I just it's hard to quantify and put it into words so people can understand who don't really like know what sports is really about and how it's like it's different, bro. It's a different work mentality. It's a different like a different and this was the like I mean if Shedeur was upset about anything and was like any of the narratives that they painted entitled whatever like that because some people want to run with those narratives. I don't personally believe that. Like I just like no like the Bama is in a position just like anybody would be in a position. This is like this is Bronny James, but Bronny James is a super bona fide cooker. And if you make it the same, like Brian James is some trash. You know what I'm saying? But Shedeur is not. He's elite, dog. He came into a HBCU program and took that joint to the championship. Then he came to a dying Colorado team that was you wouldn't even. Matter of fact, if I just asked you to just pick a new team out of a hat 2 years ago, Colorado would have been the last team you even looked at. You ain't picking them on NCAA basketball or football. You ain't doing nothing with them. So come on, people. He took them to a respectable place, dog. They had a respectable offense. He had respectable numbers, respectable output, like all of the above, dog. And I don't think you put anybody in this place that they do that. And you know, yeah, I mean, you got to give credit where credit is due. People just trying to hate for any reason, don't want know the game or watch the game. These pundits on it, I'm hearing people, oh no, he's entitled. Like that's expect like no, he's not entitled, dog. That's one narrative that they spun out in the media, and we know the media gets paid to spin narratives. So we're just going to just put that out there. So I just it's inconsistent with the people that know him or that are close. That it's inconsistent. People who've been around him that have been close to him, it's inconsistent. So I'm not buying it. This was the narrative that the league came together and said, we're going to do this because the reality is that when those things get leaked, right? It's like the NFL, a GM force, blah, 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 or some unknown source. Like, come on, people. We know especially when it's around draft time and all like that. Like, dog, these teams know how do you get a source with no name behind it? Unless the entity that supports the sources allows for this to happen, bro. They can't afford that's bad for business. When a couple years ago, when it got out, like some of the questions they was asking in the combine was kind of crazy and stuff like that. They were like, oh no, we gotta temper that down, right? So then they try to change the narrative. That's why they brought all the people in, brought all the media people in to cover the joint. So it's just so many. Like, you gotta be hip to what's going on, people. So you can't believe what they're saying. Like, it's not true. It's not true. It's not true. Because if that was true, you had teammates like, man, I don't rock with them. Coaches would be like, better watch out, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just not true. Bama's like Baker Mayfield, all these Bama's had real corroborating stories about their character and stuff that came out. Johnny Manziel, corroborating stories about their character from like unknown sources and real life situations that you could look like, dog, that man was he was drinking and doing wild stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? The documentary just came out how wild these Bamas was back in. So stop it, people. Stop it. Stop it. We not buying it, bro. Y'all can buy it, but that's why we here. Because we don't just go along with what everybody say. Like, yeah, you're gonna go down that street. It's gonna be safe. No. And we seen this before. This is not anything new. So with that said, right? I told you Tyler, he be like what is he? He Joe Flacco 2.0, maybe. Maybe that's the ceiling. So you want to take a whim on that? Be my guest, bro. I'm just saying you might not be coaching in 2 years, making boneheaded decisions. Again, I know the league kind of constrained you a little bit because we know how it go, but when you get the chance to make your own selection, you want to go with this guy. Why you want to go with a Joe? So you can control him. This guy gonna do everything I say. I don't gotta worry about his dad in the locker room. I don't gotta worry about this. I don't worry about the media like saying or being critical of how I'm doing my job and all of it, because that's what comes with it, bro. It's not even just about like Deion, because somebody's like, oh, Deion won't be a head coach, and he like, no. They not threatened that way. What they threatened by is that there'll be a narrative that won't be isolated. So they can't just do whatever with the player and it not be known, or there's not a countering voice to be able to say, like, this ain't right, or you doing this and this is not right. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine your team is playing and then they do boneheaded stuff, or they sabotaging the kid? And we've heard it before when players feel like they getting sabotaged and their parents come out and say something, or or different things that happen, and they're like, yeah, well, they need to give me the ball, or whatever. They just being vocal, right? And then they get spun in this whole narrative, like, oh, this person. This the thing. Deion, his media presence is different than everybody who came before. Because this Batman can get on and like it can put an indictment on an organization. It can put pressure on an organization to make changes and do stuff. And I'm sure that those organizations fearful of that. They're like, oh, no, we don't need that. Because, dog, most of these Bamas are trash. Most of these executives and GMs and coaches, they are trash, dog. We watch them every year, look at the same game tape I look at, and me and Aaron look at, and we make a different decision than they make. They go with some guy, and we be like, dog, that Bama can't do it. And we tell them up front, and they still go. Because why? Because of their pride, because they think they know everything and blah, blah, blah. And then they just go into it and they like, yeah, we're going to do this. And they like to have that control to be able to do that. Even on a team, you think about like 1 year pass, and then next year, like, no, we got to get some weapons for my boy. Like, even a statement like that is going to put pressure on an organization, pressure that may not be there right now. And so these guys, they're steeped in mediocrity and they love it. And they don't want anything to ruffle that. They don't want anything to push them out of mediocrity or challenge that in any kind of way, because these Bama's are allowed to do that. You think the Giants want a Shedeur Sanders and the cachet that his dad brings to that team, and the pressure that it will put on the coaching staff and put on like everybody to get it right, Joe Shane and all of them who's mediocre at best, to like pick the right players and make right decisions and put the best organization together for Shedeur to succeed. Like, stop it, people. They don't want that pressure. I can be mediocre and do things my way and be wrong 100%, and nobody can hold me accountable for it. That's the situation I want to be in. That's the situation many of them in. So, that's what it's really about, people. I hope y'all understand this. These dudes that got picked, Jackson Dart, dog, might be Chase Daniels, dog. He not built for it. Do not, you disrespecting Josh Allen, saying no, he's not. Matter of fact, Drake May was more Josh Allen and to me, and was better suited than Jackson Dart. Like, it's just a force. It's a force. And I'm sure they're gonna do whatever they can to try to coach him up, but you can't coach up certain things, dog. Like, not in the speed time that you need it. And granted, Jackson Dart gonna gotta play right away. You know what I'm saying? And they got quarterbacks ahead of him. But dog, this league is showing us stranger things. And media pressure, dog, is media pressure. And when you look across the pond and you see a guy who's a 4th, 5th round pick, and he's already leapfrogged the guys in front of him, is already playing, it's an indictment on your franchise. Everybody look at you like, well, why you ain't get this? The same thing when you traded Saquon away, the Giants did, and then you look back and you like, dog, that was so stupid. Then all the tweets and all the stuff, like, that's how social media works, and you look like an idiot. Well, I already know you are, but everybody else don't know yet. But when they see how it pan out, then they're gonna be like, dog, that was so stupid. Why did you get him? You picked him in the first round. You did X, Y, and Z, and blah, blah. And Shedeur was right there. We see it every year. Lamar Jackson and blah, blah, blah. We see the narrative every time, dog. It's about control. It's about control. And like, when these players don't like acquiesce to the business model of the NFL and their train and their plantation how it's set up. When you try to buck the system and stuff, they want to by all means, like, nope, don't do it, can't do it, not allowed. You can go ahead and try it, and we'll show you what we about. You know what I'm saying? It's just all it's about, people. Is you do you get mad at it? Yes. I mean, it's definitely rooted in racism and stuff because you don't see the same narratives for white quarterbacks that come out of the league. You just don't. Like if they do something, oh, that's not who he is. That's not his true character. Blah blah blah. All these people come to bat for them, right? As you saw in this situation, it's like it's like yeah, he got his hand tied behind his back. Okay, yeah, steal him. Go ahead, hit him. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was that kind of move, bro. So, you know, when they untie your hands, then okay, we can rock. Let's rock. And now his hands is untied. Now I know he's not in the best situation. He's gonna have to fandangle and move strategically and that. But I think Dion is prepared him for all of that, though. His work ethic gonna be fine. How we gonna show up every day and the things he will do, just being a natural leader, which you see he has leadership quality. He gonna be fine, dog. The team and teammates gonna galvanize, and that's another thing too. Like if you try to play him or like I mean, when I say play, I'm using like a colloquialism. Like if you try to like slight them or like do them crud, and the team see that joint, now some Bama's are gonna be like, nah, this like I'm gonna stay out of it. But then there'll be teammates like, nah, dog, this is not like y'all doing the man credit. You know what I'm saying? So I think they'll handle them right because it'll be so many eyes on the joint. Like it's gonna be so many cameras and media and like you know what I'm saying. They're gonna. This will be the first time a fifth round pick. Like they're gonna show up at the media days and show up at the training camp joint, and they're gonna be talking to him. And they're gonna be focused on the top quarterback. They're gonna be talking to him, and that's the circus that's gonna come. But Cleveland is trash bowl of America, so it ain't. It's gonna be just boost for them. So yeah, that's my take. Um, you know, and that's the rip. That's the 100% keeping it all the way a buck. So you know, we'll see how it play out. Follow me at OSN 989, other side of sports. Yeah, we out.